G'day, Tyson here from the Travelling Stamps. Welcome to our rig rundown for our 2022 model Nissan Patrol. Rightio, I've written down the top questions we get asked from our Instagram page about our Y62 build. Number one is why the Y62 over any other tow vehicle. Main one we hear is the 200 or 300 series cruisers. At the time we were planning our big lap, we had a Ford Ranger Wild Track, which we loved. Awesome vehicle, went everywhere off-road. We did a lot of mods to it, put a lot of time and money into it. Put it over the scales and it weighed too much. It wasn't going to be compliant with the GVM, GCM ruling, especially in Queensland state. So I bit the bullet, said yep, we need a new car. Started looking into them. We love the look of the Patrols, especially once they've had a few mods on them. And the wait times were about half that of a Land Cruiser or any other vehicle really. And the costs, once I've fully kitted this out, still comes under that of a 200 or 300 series once you do a tyres and suspension upgrade to it. So that was basically why we picked the Y62, and so far we couldn't be happy with it. Next is, do I need a GVM upgrade? If you're travelling full time or plan on setting up your Y62 as a tourer, yes. Once we did get all our mods done, half a tank of fuel, tow in the van, put it over the pits, it come in just under 4 tonne. That's with the tow ball download. Our GVM upgrade is $4,499, so we're well under, keeping in mind we have no GCM upgrade. Probably the most asked question on our Instagram page is, how is fuel consumption on the big girl? Right now on the dash, the average is sitting at 26 litres per 100k, which I don't think is too bad realistically, considering it's a near 4 tonne vehicle towing a 3.5 tonne van. I did notice, like through stop-starting ranges, it does climb up over that 30 litre mark, which is to be expected. Coming through the guts of Australia, it drops right down to that sort of 22 litres per 100k mark. It does feel expensive when you're always pulling up at every petrol stop on your trip, but like we are towing a lot of weight. I don't think it's much worse or better than a lot of the other competing vehicles out there. Let us know if yours does demolish those figures, but yeah, I'd expect that to be sort of the average across the board. We do try and run 98 octane in the Patrol because we do notice the difference. When we have to run 91, you probably get 50 to 100 kilometres less out of the tank. I think the tanks in these are 120 litres or maybe 100 with 20 litre reserve. And yeah, you sort of get that 500, 550 kilometre mark out of it. Safe anyway, not running them too low. Next question is, how much is the build? As it sits behind me, minus the tinny, is $138,000, close to 140 grand mark. If you include the tinny, that's $2,000, so there's 140 grand drive away, everything in this car. I did try and include absolutely everything, right down to the cost of the floor mats, seat covers, just an accurate price on what this would cost to drive away right now. So yeah, 140 grand, and it's yours. Alright, we'll do a walk around of the Patrol now and talk about the mods we've added in. So up front, we've gone the dash front bar with a couple of steady lights, carbon winch, all fitted up by EC Off-Road. A couple of little insanely bright foggies in there as part of the dash package. We went the dash bar over every other brand, basically just because the looks. We had a Rhino front bar on our Wild Track, loved the bar. Thought we'd try something different on the Patrol, a little more aggressive looking in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, still love the Rhino bar, I would have went that, but I left the front bar up to the missus and she picked the dash. We're happy with it. Next is the light tint and chrome delete package. Probably our biggest regret for our Y62 build is electing to go a chrome wrap over a chrome paint delete. I've heard good stories about some other companies wrapping, but if you're in the Townsville area and are thinking about getting a car wrapped, message me and I'll tell you who not to use, because I'll show you ours. It's all failing, and pretty much has been since about a week old. We're still going through trying to get a refund out of the company that supplied it. Yeah, I hope you can see that on camera. It kills us. Beautiful car. When you get up close, you notice that. It's just one of those small details that we hate. Wish we did it right the first time. Got the panels pulled off and painted properly. The light tints all look pretty cool though. Wheels and tyres, we decided to go with the Maxxis Razor R's. Had a set on the Wild Track. Loved them, couldn't fault them, took them to the Cape and back. No dramas, so I've dropped them down to 6 PSI before. Yeah, and we went the ROH Vapors, also Kira's choice, left the rim choice up to her. I think she did a pretty good job. I know they're pretty common, but they're common for a reason. They do look good, and they're GVM compliant with the upgrade. We stuck with the 33 by 12.5s, basically to help out with the fuel consumption a little bit. I did originally order the 35s, called them up and cancelled it. I'm glad we did. We went a stainless steel snorkel fitted by EC Off-Road. Absolutely love the Stanos. I know a lot of people don't like them because of the induction noise, but I'm a huge fan, and plus you can't hear it at all with the windows up. Snorkel induction noise, window down. So we went a full Rhino rack platform, which we picked up from Outback Equipment on special, and got it fitted by TJM in town, just so I didn't have to drill into my roof. We don't use it for anything other than holding the boat loader, which was a custom build myself. I'll probably talk about that in another video. We run the Dash 270 awning. We had that on the Wild Track, so we thought we'd just transfer it over. I did have to make some custom brackets to run the Rhino rack platform with the boat loader up there. It all comes just under that 100 kilo mark for the roof loading of a Y62. Suspension and GVM, we're running the we got a 4,499 kilo GVM upgrade. We'd actually ordered the 3,999 kilo one from EC Off-Road, but it rocked up as the larger one. Not sure who made the mistake, but we're not complaining about it. It's the heavy duty Dobbo rear springs. We got the front upper control arms, the airbag man helper system in the rear springs, and upgraded front springs to carry the load of the bar and winch. We run the, I'll show you where the compressor sits. I think this is a pretty common suspension setup on Y62 builds. Compressor sits in that rear panel there. We have an outlet here to pump up tyres, on-off switch for the compressor, and to adjust the airbags is through up here, on-off, up and down, left and right airbags. Absolute necessity with towing is setting airbags. It's just a nicety to have it at the control of my fingertips, especially while I'm driving. And yeah, we do use it a lot. I'm forever checking the bag pressure, make sure there's no leaks. Love it, makes a world of difference for towing. One of the first mods I think everyone should do to their Y62 is, I think it's about 80 bucks from Dash. I'm pretty sure Outback Equipment sell them as well, is the interior light upgrade from halogen to LED. Comes with every bulb to swap out the interior lights. Nice white. Also does your puddle lights and your rear light. And then for another 50, 60 bucks, I bought a TJM rock light and just wired it through the paneling into the rear light here, so I can turn that on and off with the rear light. If you're planning on running sort of a Tourer fridge slide setup, you need one of these. As soon as you pull your fridge out or your drawers out, completely stops all the light from here, so you need something directly above your head. Originally we're going to go one of those big panel lights, but for 60 bucks you can't fault that. Radio, for off-grid power we have 200 amps of lithium behind the rear seats, charged by a Enerdrive DC-DC 40 amp plus and a 2000 watt inverter. The reason we went I consider it a large system is we have an induction cooker. The story behind that, Kira seen a post somewhere on Facebook of a fella's Patrol with an induction cooker in the back. Once she's seen that, there was no convincing her otherwise. She needed the induction cooker and she got it. So here's the system behind the rear seat. DC-DC 2000 watt Enerdrive inverter, and then a couple of hardcore 100 amp hour batteries there. Common fuse block, a couple of buzz bars. I do love the system. I installed that myself, so I'm pretty happy with it. I do try and do a lot of the electronics myself, just that way if something does go wrong, I know what to fix or where I went wrong. To monitor the battery system and state of charge and input rates, it's just a little panel here behind that rear seat. It's a little bit of a pain to get to, but it is Bluetooth synced, so I have it on my phone. I can check the charge rates as we're going. Usually we probably get about 4 or 5 days of running our 75 litre Waco without any input at all before the battery starts beeping low voltage, which I think is pretty good. Righty up, the rear setup of our Patrol. We deleted our third row seating and added in a full bore false floor. We contacted a mob down south, Tanami full drive, basically told them the false floor we had and the design we wanted for the rear. They were happy to custom make whatever we wanted. Absolute unreal job. They just sent it all up on a pallet and I installed it myself. Couldn't be happy with it. Instructions that come with the install, super clear. The build quality is unreal. Like, everything's sturdy. They send every screw, nut and bolt you need. All the hinges they use are solid. So we've got a 75 litre Waco surround, a twin plate induction cooker, 1400 watt, 1000 watt, and a table underneath the full length rear drawer. Rear drawers keep all my recovery gear, extra straps, the compressor hosing, the winching system for the tinny on the roof, and then like tyre repair kit, a couple of other bits and pieces in there. Cannot fault Tanami four-wheel drive. A little bit pricey. I think we paid about $5 for the setup, but it's worth it. Worth every cent. We use the drawer every day. I haven't cooked too much out of the back yet. Probably 2 or 3 meals in the 8 months we've had this setup, but it's good having it there anyway. The exhaust system we went with was the 3-inch Manta stainless system, catback only. We elected to go the loud. I'll give you a listen to it on startup. This is from the cab. I don't know if you can hear that. We do get a lot of questions, how loud it is, does it drone? Yes, it does drone a little bit. I think we might be used to it because I couldn't live without the exhaust now. I'll do a couple of sound tests while I'm driving it. This is 0 to floor in it with windows down. I don't know if you can hear that through the GoPro, but it's pretty loud in the cab. Do it again.
Changes.
0 to floor in it, windows up. So the costs that make up 140 grand worth of Y62 touring vehicle. We bought the car back in 2022 for $92,000. All we added on from Nissan was a tow pack. We spent $27,000 at EC Off-Road Brisbane. That was a front bar for 3,200, spotties for 650. The winch was 1,100. GVM upgrade was 7,200 with airbags. The onboard compressor was 1,200. Stainless snorkel was 1,350. Wheels 1,800. Tires 2,800. The Clearview compacts were 1,450. The rest of that 27 grand is colour coding and fitment. The full-length Rhino platform we bought from Outback Equipment. Got a wicked deal for $1,600 online there. Paid another $200 to get that fitted. The Red Arc Tow Pro is $500 fitted as well. Our chrome delete, ceramic coat and light tint come to $2 grand. Like I said earlier, that's the biggest regret we've had for our build. Wouldn't do it again. The Anderson wiring for the tow setup was $200. Dual battery system with the Enerdrive inverter, $5 grand. Tanami rear drawer French slide cooker setup, $4,600 plus another $400 for the false floor and $500 for freight. The Manta exhaust 3-inch stainless catback system in the loud option was $2,300. The LED interior light upgrade $80, rear lights $60. And then a few other things like the seat covers, $650. We run super trim seat covers, awesome, recommend them. And the Flexi Max Trax floor mats for $400. So that totals up to 138 grand, plus $2 grand for the boat on the roof, 140,000 bucks. Enjoy.